I'll be demonstrating how to execute a Make One increase on the purl side of your fabric. There are 3 different ways to execute this stitch, and you choose the correct stitch by determining what the increase will look like on the right side or knit side of the fabric. So if you would like the increase, the finished result, to lean to the right, you will pick the Make One Purl that does that. Or if you want the Make One Purl to lean to the left, you will choose the second option I will demonstrate, which will show how to get a left leaning increase. And the third increase that I will show is decorative. So they're all done on the purl side, but their effect is on the right side of the fabric. So let's start with a purl stitch, and I'm going to show how to make a Make One Purl that will have a right lean on the knit side of the fabric. So to make this stitch, we're going to lift this running thread right here, and the running thread is the piece of yarn that attaches or connects the stitch on your left hand needle to the stitch on your right hand needle. So we are going to pick up with our left hand needle that running thread, and we're going to pick it up from back to front, and we're going to purl through that front loop, the loop that's closest to you. And that's it. So I'll purl another stitch and I'll show you that again. We're going to take our left needle tip and we're going to pick up that running thread from back to front and purl it through the front loop. Let's purl one more stitch and turn it to the right side and see how that Make One behaved. Here are the 2 Make One increases, and you can see that both of those have a definite lean to the right. So that Make One Purl resulted in a right leaning decrease on the knit side of our fabric. So let's say you want to have it appear as a left leaning decrease on the knit side. You will execute this stitch a little differently. We are still going to pick up the running thread with our left hand needle, but this time we're going to pick up the running thread from front to back. And now we need to purl through the back loop, and it is this one right back here that you can see. It's a little tricky to pick it up. You need to take your right hand needle and you need to come past that stitch and then come in between the 2 loops and then purl that stitch. Let's try that again. Purl one in between, and you're going to pick up the running thread from front to back, and we're going to purl through that back loop. So I think of it as I come over it and then come towards you. Some people might think I'm coming the needle from, I go over the stitch and then pick it up from left to right. So here I will grab that guy, coming in between those 2 loops, and purl that. Let's purl one more stitch and see what it looks like on the knit side. So when I turn that, here are my 2 Make One Purls that have the left leaning increase, excuse me. You can see that stitch has a definite left lean. So let me demonstrate the last way to execute a Make One Purl. Now in those first 2 options I gave you, we knit through the front or the back of the stitch, and that's what twisted the stitch and made it nice and tight and a nearly invisible increase. On this option, we're going to go ahead and pick up that running thread again from front to back, except this time we're just going to purl it through the front, so it's a much easier to grab strand, not a problem. Go ahead and do that again. Pick up that running thread from front to back and simply purl it through the front. So let's purl one more stitch and see what that does to our fabric. When I turn that over, here are my 2 Make Ones, and I'm stretching the fabric a little bit, but they're right here, here, And here it leaves a little bit of a hole, so it's not nearly as invisible, but it's used in some decorative texture stitches that are fun to make. So those are the options for a Make One Purl. Happy knitting!